Hey, it's Katie, and welcome back to my BookTube channel. This is the first video of Hallowreads this year, and I'm super excited. It is my spooky October TBR. I am actually trying to read a book a day this month because there are so many spooky and like fall reads that I want to get through. So I'm going to be trying my best to read one every single day, and I'm hoping to do a video for you guys about all of that will come out at the end of October, but we'll see how that goes. But I have a super long list of books. I actually have them written on this dry erase board. I don't know if you guys can see this, but I tried to write them in my little squares so that I can kind of cross them off, kind of like a bingo board sort of, and just see how well I can do. There's actually 35 on that board, so I probably will not get that many done, but I'm really excited. There's so many really great books that I've been trying to save for this time of year, so let's just jump into it. I've actually read 2 of the books on my TBR already, and they are Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber and Ace of Spades by Farida Abikayimide. I am super sorry that I cannot pronounce her name. I looked it up. I tried super hard to be able to pronounce it, but I still can't. But anyway, both these books are super good and definitely fit the fall vibes for very different reasons. But I actually have a full review of Once Upon a Broken Heart coming out hopefully on Monday if everything goes well, so definitely stay tuned for that. So the next few books that I have are all graphic novels, and these are all super adorable. I've been really wanting to read them. So this first one is Brightly Woven by Alexandra Bracken, and I think this involves like some kind of magic. I think like witches or a warlock or something like that. Oh, it's a wizard. Okay, so this involves a wizard, which is super fun. Then we have Mooncakes by Wendy Zhu. I'm terrible with names, I'm so sorry. And Suzanne Walker, and this is a witchy kind of book, I think, also with a werewolf. And also looks like it has some baking. There's some cookies on the back, so adorable. I love the fact that it has magic and it also has some baking. I love baking. And then the last one is Beetle and the Hollow Bones by Eliza Lane, and this one involves goblins and also a ghost, I think. After that, I have some really popular books I feel like you guys have all heard of, so I'm just going to go through them really quickly. I have Cemetery Boys by Aiden Thomas. I'm super excited for this. I've been wanting to read it for like almost a year now, and I was saving it just for this month and for Hallowreads. I have A Deadly Education by Naomi Novik. This is, I think, dark academia, so I am really into that during this time of year. And then I also have The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. I've never read a V.E. Schwab book before. I know I'm super behind. She has so many books that are really popular, but I've been really intimidated by this one. But this month I'm hoping to do a vlog of books I've been scared to read, and this is one of those books, so hopefully I will end up really enjoying it. This next stack are a bunch of like murder mysteries and thrillers that I'm super excited for. And the first mystery is Hunting Prince Dracula by Carrie Maniscalco. This is the sequel to Stalking Jack the Ripper, which I have a full review of on this channel, which I will link for you guys. That's from last year's Hallowreads, and I really enjoyed that, so I wanted to continue the series. This one takes place in Romania. I think they are investigating something that has to do with Dracula, which is super cool. And what I love about these books is that there's different like pictures, like this has like a letter in it, but there's also some like really creepy pictures that are in here that definitely create a completely different vibe while you're reading, and it's super spooky. I can't find one right now. Hold on, let me see. So they're just all in like black and white. I thought I saw a creepier one earlier, but I can't find it now. But regardless, there's some like different pictures and different kinds of like media throughout this, so I really enjoy that. Up next, we have A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson, which I feel like a lot of people have probably already read. I'm super behind with this, but this is about a girl in high school who is doing this senior project, I think, about a closed case in the past that she has some doubt that she's trying to cast on the original investigation. There was a girl in high school who was murdered by her boyfriend, and then the boyfriend committed suicide, and our main character is trying to investigate more about that. And as she's digging up all these secrets, some weird things start to happen to her as well. So that sounds super spooky and like a really great murder mystery. I don't usually read murder mysteries, but I feel like I'm super into that this year. The next one I have is One of Us is Lying by Carrie M. McManus. This is another one I'm super behind on, but from what I understand, there is a group of 5 high schoolers. I think they end up in detention or something. Yes. So they end up in detention together, but only 4 of them make it out alive. And so I think there's some kind of investigation to try to figure out which one of them is lying and who actually killed the boy that did not make it out. And this also has characters based on different stereotypes. There's like the super smart person, the homecoming princess, oh, here it is. There's the brain, the beauty, the criminal, the athlete, and the outcast. So I think that's really cool. It reminds me of a book I read last year called All Your Twisted Secrets by Diana Urban, and I really liked that one. So I think I'm going to love this. After that, I have Truly Devious by Maureen Johnson, and I am super excited to have this one. This takes place at a private school. It's like an academy. It gives me like dark academia vibes, sort of. And I think basically the founder of the school, his wife and daughter were kidnapped and I think actually murdered. And the only clue that they had to them disappearing was this mocking riddle, and it was signed with the pseudonym Truly Devious. And to this day, it has never been figured out what happened to them. And now there's somebody who's starting at this academy, and they love looking into, I think, different like murder mysteries and things. So she is determined to solve this case, and all of a sudden it says Truly Devious makes a surprise return. So I'm not sure what goes down with that, but this one sounds really cool, and the cover itself just fits the vibe of fall, so I'm definitely in. After that, I have They Wish They Were Us by Jessica Goodman, and this one follows a girl who's in high school, and during freshman year, her best friend was murdered by her boyfriend, and he admitted to killing her, and so the case was closed. But now, during her senior year, she's getting these random texts that are saying the guy who confessed is actually innocent, and so she decides to dig a little bit more into it and figure out what really happened to her best friend. And then the last one in this like thriller mystery stack is Even If We Break by Marieke Nijkamp. I'm hoping I say her name correctly. That's another name that is difficult for me to pronounce, but this one sounds really cool. I'm just gonna read the little blurb on the back because that's all you really need. It says, 5 friends go to a cabin, 4 of them are hiding secrets. 3 years of history bind them, 2 are doomed from the start. 1 person wants to end this, no one is safe. Are you ready to play? And between that and these creepy masks on the cover, I am so intrigued. I feel like this is going to be a great thriller, and I really feel like it's going to get my heart racing for some reason. So I'm really excited for this one. The next 2 I have are more like atmospheric. Like I feel like the vibe of the setting and the world building just feels very like fall and spooky. And the first one is The Hazelwood by Melissa Albert. This is about a girl who has always been kind of on the run or moving around with her mom, trying to avoid the bad luck that's been biting at their heels. But her grandmother, who is this author of dark fairy tales, ends up dying on her estate. They end up going to the estate to, figure things out, and her mom ends up being taken, I think, by a creature who claims to be from the world in her grandmother's books. And the only thing her mom left behind is a note that says, "Do not enter the Hazelwood." Alice is determined to find her mother, so she ends up partnering with a super fan of her grandmother's novels who knows a lot about that whole world and all those creatures, and they go on this journey to enter the Hazelwood and save her mother. And then the other one that fits that vibe is Small Favors by Erin A. Craig. And this one just came out recently, so that makes me even more excited to read it, especially with this gorgeous cover. But this takes place in a small town, I think, called Amity Falls, which is surrounded by like an impenetrable forest. So our main character basically just spends her days tending to her family's beehives and helping take care of her little sisters and just doing that kind of like tedious stuff. But apparently when Amity Falls was kind of founded, the original settlers had to fight off these monstrous creatures, and whispers of those creatures still go around throughout town, and all of a sudden people start to realize that something is terribly wrong as the season starts to change, and you have these creatures that are coming that people realize are actually real, and they try to make bargains with the people in this neighborhood saying that they can make, I think, their wish come true just for a small favor. So I'm really intrigued. It sounds like such an interesting world, and I'm really interested to see what kind of creatures there are. That seems really spooky to me. So it also says it's unique, enchanting, and haunting. So I feel like that's all I really need to feel like this book fits October. For my next category, these are more in the horror genre from what I understand. And the first one is Wilder Girls by Rory Power. I've never read a horror book before, so I'm really intrigued to see if this is something I would like. But I kind of held off on reading this one because it reminds me too much of the real world, because this takes place at an all-girls school that has to be under quarantine because the teachers start dying one by one and then the students become infected, so they end up locked in the school and basically just waiting for a cure. I think one of the girls at the school, I don't know if she's a friend of the main character or what, but she ends up going missing, so our main character is determined to find her, even if it means sneaking out and breaking quarantine. And then the other horror book I have is The Dark Descent of Elizabeth Frankenstein by Kirsten White. And this one just screams Halloween because it's about Frankenstein, and basically it's about a girl who is starving and I think abused by her caretakers, and she's about to be thrown out onto the street, and she ends up being taken in by Victor Frankenstein's family, and they kind of grow up together from what I can tell from the synopsis and grow closer. But the older he gets, the more demented he gets, and he has a really bad temper and a ton of anger, so she has to try really hard to not make him mad, and basically she will do whatever it takes to survive. And this book honestly just sounds super sad. That's like the one vibe I get. It sounds really creepy, but also just really sad, so we will see how I feel about this. It is pretty short, which is probably for the best because I feel like it's going to be super depressing. The last two books on my TBR feel a lot lighter to me for some reason, and I think I'm definitely going to need a break from all the darkness that I've already talked about. But the first book is Afterlove by Tanya Byrne. So this is about a girl named Ash who on New Year's Eve gets an invitation to join a clan of fierce girl reapers in the afterlife, and these reapers take the souls of the city's dead to await their fate. And Ash ends up getting in a car accident, and she's not really sure if she's dead or alive, but no matter what, she can't forget her first love, Poppy, and will do anything to see her again. This just seems super cute, and it seems like the cutest like sapphic romance. So I love that it seems like a super sweet romance mixed with some kind of paranormal elements with the Reapers and the afterlife. So I felt like that was still very fitting for this month. And last but not least, we have The Babysitter's Coven by Kate Williams. One of our main characters is Esme, who is a babysitter and has this Babysitters Club because she just wants to make a little extra cash. And then we have Cassandra, who is basically like an Instagram model, but also has this rebellious side. So it really confuses Esme when Cassandra will do anything to join the Babysitters Club. But the reason Cassandra is so interested in the club is because her mom left her a note that said, "Find the babysitters, love mom." Apparently, Esme and Cassandra have more in common than they originally thought, and they end up finding out that being a babysitter is basically like this lineage of people with superpowers. and they do things like magical rituals and basically saving these children from evil all before their parents get home. So that sounds really, really interesting. I love that it seems like a super chill setting with these girls in high school who are babysitters, but also mixed with some kind of magic and superpowers. So I'm really intrigued by this one, and I'm really excited about all of these books on my TBR. If you've read any of these, please let me know what you thought, especially if it's one of the like horror and mystery books, because those are not ones I usually read. So I would love some advice on those. And if you have any other fall suggestions, please let me know. I am definitely looking for as many as possible. But I hope you guys really enjoyed watching this video and enjoyed seeing what festive books were on my TBR this month. Like I said earlier, I will be doing a video called I Read 31 Books in 31 Days, or at least I hope I will. It should be coming out at the end of this month, but I will be trying to keep you guys updated as I read all of these books. But if you guys want to see more videos like this, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. I would really, really appreciate it. And if you do subscribe, please click the notification bell so you know when I upload next. Thank you guys so much for watching. I can't wait to see you in my next video.